Hey, what are you doing? Oh, he's hungry. You hungry? Want to drink again? That's my baby's room, guys. I just did a little bit of cleaning here in my room. It's Thursday, it's 12 noon. I've got nothing else to do, so I did a little bit of cleaning. So, yeah, also I decided to make a video today. It's about a question from one of the guys who commented on one of my videos back then. It's like months ago. And his question was if, you know, I could make a video about how to start a loan for a car. I thought that was really interesting, so I want to make that video today. Also, if you haven't checked one of my videos, it's how to get your credit started here in the United States. I'll link them down below in the description so that hopefully that'll help you answer some of your questions. Alright guys, so hopefully I can be seen there. Alright, so I know it can be really hard to start off here in the United States. Sometimes, you know, it's a struggle. I can remember myself when I started here in the States. To me, it was kind of like a culture shock. You have to deal with the culture, you have to deal with the system. The kind of system that we have here is not the kind of system we have in the Philippines, so it can be a little bit of a readjustment. And I can imagine people come here and don't even have family members to go to. They don't have friends, so they're just starting off from zero. They're able to improve their status in life. They climb up that ladder and, you know, they improve. So, you know, when you come to the States, you start off with a credit. The credit helps you with a lot of things. It helps you loan a car. It helps you with loaning a house. Depending on how good your credit is, based on that, they'll approve you how much loan to lend you. So they also look at your income. So the more money you make, the better off you are as far as getting a loan, a bigger loan. So depending on what car you're trying to loan, so there are cars between 20,000 to 30,000 that, you know, those are type of cars that are easy for an average American to loan. But like luxury cars starting at like 35 to 40 to 50,000, those are kind of hard. You have to prove that you have, you know, you're making enough money to support that loan. Also, you need to have like at least a good credit for that. You know, so credit scores, let's talk about credit scores for a little bit here. So credit scores may start from, let's say 579, that would be considered poor credit or very poor credit. Then 780 to 669, that's considered poor credit. So very poor for 579, and then poor for 580 to 669. And then when you go up to 670 to 739, that's considered now fair credit. And 740 to 799, that's considered very good credit. And 800 to 850 is considered excellent credit or exceptional. So that's how do they score you? That's based on your credit history. So when you start off here in the States, you don't have a credit history yet. So most likely no banks will lend you money. But there's a trick to that. So what you can do is you can start off with a prepaid credit card. So what a prepaid credit card is, it's like a credit card. So basically just like a simple credit card that you put money into. So when my wife came here from the Philippines, so she started working in Chicago. She wasn't approved for any type of credit cards during the time because she had zero. It's not like back then. Back then it was easier, you know. But nowadays, since, you know, the economy is not as good anymore, and a lot of people are probably not paying their debts on time, or they're just loaning money and they're not even paying. So banks are now losing trust. So they're becoming more strict. So my wife didn't get approved for like a basic credit card. So what she got approved was the prepaid. So she had to put money into that. So that's the credit card was basically her own money. It wasn't a money lent to her. So she put in like $300 into that credit card, and she was using it. She was also paying it off on time. So for about 6 months, she already gained some credit history there. So By that time, she was approved for a real credit card, which is a real loan for like $300. Then she started using that and then just paying that off. She was only using 30% of the credit line. So there's a trick for the credit cards. So you have to make sure that you're not going beyond 30%. Otherwise, when you go beyond that, it can also decrease your score. So what the banks do is that they look at how you pay your credit card and how you use it. So they look at that and they're going to report to the credit bureaus. So the credit bureaus are companies. So these are companies, TransUnion, they have Equifax, and there's this other one I forgot. So these three credit bureaus are keeping track of your credit history, and they're looking at how you're paying your credit cards, how timely you pay them, and how much you pay them, if you're paying them off or if you're just paying portions of it. That affects your credit. So they look at that and they generate your scores. And those scores can be pulled by any lenders. So if you're trying to apply for a loan for a car, when they pull out your score, they can see how bad it is or how good it is. So your credit score is your lifeline here. So pretty much an average American, even though you're not making as much money, you can get approved for bigger loans, like for houses, expensive electronics, furnitures, or whatever you want to loan. They can approve you for that as long as you have a good stable job and as long as you have a decent credit score. Now for people who don't have a real good, you don't have to have a real good credit score. You can still be approved. The only thing is that you might have a really big interest rate. So that's a disadvantage on your part. So whereas if you have a real good credit score, if you have an excellent credit score, it's hard to get an excellent credit score, but aim for it. Some people still get it. If you're just really on time paying and you're really making sure that you're paying it off to the balance, then it's attainable. But yeah, if you have a real good, like my sister has a real good credit score. I think she has an excellent credit score. When she bought her Mercedes-Benz, during the time she wasn't making that much of a money. She was making I think $20 an hour. So, she got approved for a Mercedes-Benz, a brand new Mercedes-Benz, and her APR was really low, really low. So when you start here in the States, start with the prepaid, and then eventually you're gonna have the real credit card, and then they're gonna keep on offering you credit cards. So if you start off with 300, next thing, like probably 2 months from now, they're gonna offer you a bigger credit line. Do not max it out, because the moment you max it out, it's gonna hurt your credit. So just take care of it. Just use it to help build your credit, and then by the time you need to loan a car, or by the time you need to loan a house, it'll be easier for you to get approved. So yeah, that's the basics. Sometimes it takes 6 months or a couple years to build a really solid credit history. Some lenders would want to see a history of at least 2 years or above, depending on what kind of loan they want to lend you. Some don't. Like if you need to just get a line, a cell phone line, you don't need a really good credit score for that. And just the basic one will do. When you try to apply for a car, I think they want to see if you have at least 6 months or a year of employment, and then they want to see if you have a history of at least 6 months or a year. The same thing with when you're trying to apply for a rental here in the United States. Everything goes through your credit. So everything you do here will most likely require you to use your credit. So they'll look into your credit in every part of the transaction here. So if you're trying to get a cell phone, you're trying to get a laptop, unless you're paying everything with cash, but it wouldn't be wise to pay everything with cash, because I'd rather just save up that money and just use a credit card and just pay that monthly instead of using cash. It's not typical here in the States, but you could do that. So I hope this helped you answer some of the questions you may have. And if you have family members that are just starting off here in the States, this video may help them out. Share this video with them and to whoever you think this video can be helpful with. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you continue to support my channel. If you're new to my channel, subscribe and hit the bell button, please. And then give this video a thumbs up too. If you have any questions, just type them down below in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer them. Alright, thank you guys. Peace out.